What's up, my comic comrades? First and foremost, it's Christmas Day if you're watching this episode, the first day it goes live. So everyone here at Variant wants to wish you and your loved ones a very Merry Christmas. We hope you guys get all the nerdy gifts your heart desires, but more importantly, we wish you a fun, healthy, and safe holiday with your family and loved ones. With that said, Christmas has leveled up this year because not only is it Christmas, it's also the launch of Wonder Woman 84 on HBO Max, as well as select theaters around the country. That's right, if you have an HBO Max subscription, you'll be able to stream Wonder Woman 84 for the next 30 days free with your HBO Max subscription. No additional fee added. Or if you want to see it in theaters and there is theaters open by you, you could do that as well. Point is, Wonder Woman 84 dropped today, meaning, of course, we had to give you a Wonder Woman themed episode. And what better character to do that on than one of the villains in the film, Cheetah, played by Kristen Wiig. And don't worry, for those of you who want to know more about Maxwell Lord, played by the Mandalorian himself, Pedro Pascal, we're doing an Origin of Maxwell Lord episode this coming Sunday, so be on the lookout for that. But if you're looking for actual Wonder Woman episodes, we've already done a History of Wonder Woman episode, which you could find right here, as well as an alternate versions of Wonder Woman episode, which you could also find right here. In any case, let's learn about Wonder Woman's most infamous villain, Cheetah. Cheetah first appeared in Wonder Woman issue 6 in 1943, and she was created by William Moulton Martin and H.G. Peter. The original Cheetah, which they created, was Priscilla Rich, a woman who suffered from split personalities. She was the Cheetah through the Golden Age and Silver Age of comics. Then we have the second Cheetah, Deborah Domain, created by Jerry Conway and Jose Delbo. She was the niece of the original Cheetah and was mind-controlled into becoming the second Cheetah. This was the Cheetah during the Bronze Age of comics. Then we have the most famous and modern Cheetah, which is the Cheetah Wonder Woman 84 will be using, Barbara Ann Minerva, the post-crisis and current Cheetah. This is also the Cheetah we're going to be focusing on for the majority of the episode, as this is the version they're going to be using for Wonder Woman 84. With that said, there's still yet another Cheetah, Sebastian Ballesteros. He's basically a dude who briefly became the Cheetah back in 2011, and he was created by Phil Jimenez and Joe Kelly. But now that you know about the 4 different versions of Cheetah over the years in DC, let's talk about the most popular one and the one they're using for Wonder Woman 84, Barbara Minerva, starting with her origin. Barbara Minerva was a British archaeologist who would do anything to get her hands on the artifacts she wanted. To this point, Minerva would soon set her eyes on Wonder Woman's lasso, hoping to add it to her collection of historical artifacts. But obviously, Wonder Woman is not just going to give her lasso of truth to someone, so Minerva attempts to gain the lasso through tricking Wonder Woman. She told Wonder Woman there was a matching ancient golden girdle of Gaia of the same kind from which the lasso was made. And at first, it seemed like it was going to work, as Wonder Woman agreed to meet her and even brought the lasso of truth, letting Minerva hold it. While holding it, Minerva says, "It's everything Professor described. It's absolutely breathtaking." She then tells Wonder Woman, "If you'll excuse me for a moment, I'll return with the relic that I described to you in my letter." Wonder Woman says, "Please hurry." Minerva continues to say while holding the lasso, walking away, "I also have much documentation to show you. Evidence which will prove that, no, there is no documentation. There is no girdle. There is no..." At which point Minerva finally says, "This cursed lasso, take it away." That's right, she was saying all of this while holding the lasso, which forced her to tell the truth, which is the dumbest thing you could ever do. How are you gonna lie while holding the lasso of truth? Literally, its whole purpose is to compel people to tell the truth. Anyway, because of this, her evil scheme is exposed, and Wonder Woman grabs the lasso while crying, saying, "How could you betray me like this, Doctor?" before eventually storming out of her apartment, grabbing her lasso, and flying away, being pissed and mad all at the same time. But this is not the end for Barbara Minerva, because of course, she hasn't gone full Cheetah yet. Later on that same night, her companion, an African priest named Chuma, who she saved from being sacrificed in a ritual some time ago, decides to conduct his own ritual, one that will soon give Minerva the power to fight Wonder Woman and take the lasso and any other artifact that her heart desires. Long story short, he makes some sort of potion, hands it to her, she drinks it, and she becomes a humanoid cheetah, giving her the speed, strength, and agility to take on Wonder Woman, which she later does, and she almost defeated Wonder Woman at that. But Wonder Woman's friend Julia showed up last minute, shooting Minerva in the side, causing her to retreat in the lake somewhere, getting away. Now that's the classic Barbara Minerva Cheetah origin, but now let's take a look at her modern origin from the New 52. In this modern origin for Cheetah Minerva, she was a criminal who had often changed her name using a bunch of different aliases like Priscilla Rich and Deborah Domain. Essentially, those aliases were a nice little nod to Cheetahs of the past. Anyway, as I was saying, in this origin, when Wonder Woman first came to man's world, she went to Washington, D.C., where she saw a terrorist attack on the Pentagon. Obviously, Wonder Woman couldn't just let this happen, so she started fighting the people responsible for the attack. And while fighting, this is where she met Steve Trevor and also Barbara Minerva. Minerva was working at the Pentagon cataloging artifacts for the military, and apparently while she was doing this, she cut herself on a ceremonial knife which infected her with its magic, turning her into the Cheetah. But that wasn't the truth. It was later revealed that Barbara grew up in a cult that was dedicated to the hunt. So much so, she was forced to hunt and kill her own brother. She literally put an arrow right in his back, at which point she was told to find the Godslayer knife by the cult leader. Once Barbara found the knife, Aunt Lyda tells her, "You've been chosen to become the avatar of the goddess, and the only way to do that is to kill the mortal part of yourself. The goddess spoke to me herself. do it. So of course, being in a cult, Barbara listened and stabbed herself in the heart, which turned her into the cheetah. But just like that, you have Barbara Minerva's Cheetah's OG origin and her New 52 modern origin. But on that note, let's talk about story arcs and publication history. Now again, we're sticking to Barbara Minerva, so all the story arcs I'm about to mention focus around her. Now, as I already told you, Minerva Cheetah's first encounter with Wonder Woman was when she tried to steal her lasso, which ultimately led to her becoming the cheetah. But one of the first major story arcs after this was called Operation Cheetah. Basically, Drax, or Infinity Man, who's a fragment of the Highfather and protector of the Forever People, wanted Cheetah to be the host for his bride. The problem was she reverted back to her human form and was of no good to him, so he locked her in a cage, butt naked. When Wonder Woman finds out that Cheetah was being held captive, of course she went to rescue her, because no matter their past, Wonder Woman's a hero, and a hero's job is to save people. But of course, it did not go down that easy. When Wonder Woman arrives to save Cheetah, she ended up getting into a fight with Drax, at which point Deathstroke shows up to help Wonder Woman. But he got stabbed in the shoulder, and when he pulls out the knife, blood lands on the floor next to Minerva, so she then crawls over to it, saying, "Drop of Deathstroke's blood, all I need to become the cheetah." She then licks it and becomes Cheetah once more. Now Cheetah again, she wants nothing but adventure, so she jumped through a gateway that led to another dimension, closing it behind her, telling Wonder Woman, "I've spent a lifetime seeking adventure, Diana, and this will be the greatest adventure of all." Then in the Poison Claws and Death story arc, which started in Wonder Woman issue 95, Dr. Brewster experimented with some extra dimensional gates and was able to make contact with the one that Cheetah was in and brought her back to Earth. She was then hired by Juliana Sazia, a mob boss from Boston. At this point, Cheetah, Cheshire, and Poison Ivy went after Wonder Woman. But when Cheshire tried to stab Wonder Woman, Cheetah saved her as payback for Wonder Woman rescuing her from Drax in the previous story I just told you about. Towards the end of the story, White Magician imprisoned Cheetah. He then sacrificed her along with Cassandra Arnold to keep his demonic form. And then later, when Diana and Artemis would fight the White Magician, he summoned the demonic forms of Cheetah and Cassandra to fight them. It's actually pretty crazy. Then in the Underworld storyline, she seems to be back to normal and somehow got rid of her demonic form because, as I say, comics. Then skipping some stuff here and there, you have Revenge of the Cheetah, where Sebastian Ballesteros stole Minerva's cheetah powers, becoming the first and only male cheetah. But in the end, Minerva was able to kill Sebastian and gain her powers once more. Then skipping stuff yet again because there's a lot of Minerva stories out there, we have the most current interpretation of her from DC Rebirth. Specifically, Wonder Woman Volume 1, The Lies. In this story, in order to solve the riddle of Wonder Woman's origin, she sets out on a quest. But to get there, she has to team up with her greatest enemy, Cheetah. That's right, this story has Wonder Woman teaming up with her most iconic enemy. It's definitely worth a read, but anyway, let's move on to powers and abilities. Barbara's powers are magic-based, meaning she falls under magical beings within the DC universe. A lot of people don't look at her as a magical being, but she definitely is. I mean, she's literally the avatar of the god or goddess of the hunt. Anyway, as Cheetah, Barbara has the following powers, like super strength. She's been shown on several occasions to be just as strong as Wonder Woman, which makes sense considering she wouldn't be much of a villain if she couldn't hold her own against Wonder Woman. Cheetah is also extremely physically durable enough to withstand blows from, again, Wonder Woman and even the Man of Steel. With that said, for some reason, she's not durable enough to survive direct hits from bullets, lasers, or piercing attacks. Yet, she could survive blows from Wonder Woman and the Man of Steel. I don't know. That's comic science. Being a feline, she's also incredibly agile and extremely fast. She's actually one of the fastest beings in the DC universe. Believe it or not, she was ranked the 6th fastest character in all of DC by DC Comics themselves. We actually did an episode on that, which you can check out right here. DC actually ranked Cheetah faster than Wonder Woman, Shazam, Kid Flash, and Godspeed, which is insane. I don't agree with this, but hey, this is DC Comics official ranking, so what are you gonna do? But I digress. She also has enhanced senses, like being able to tell if someone's mind controlled by smell. But of course, she has claws and fangs that allow her to cut and bite through almost anything, even the flesh of metahumans. Her vision is also insane. She could see through her infrared vision, meaning that she could see and detect creatures through their body temperatures. She could also see in absolute darkness and see from very, very, very far distances. Cheetah is also a great hand-to-hand fighter, and her tail is strong enough to chop down a tree. That's right, her tail can whack down a tree. All in all, it's pretty easy to see why Cheetah is known as Wonder Woman's #1 enemy. But just like that, it's time for reading recommendations. Check out Wonder Woman Volume 2, issues 94 through 95 in the story titled Poison, Claws, and Death. Wonder Woman Volume 3, issues 26 through 33, Rise of the Olympian. Wonder Woman issue 23.1 from the New 52. And of course, Wonder Woman Volume 1, The Lies from DC Rebirth. And just like that, that brings another episode of Variant to a close. But if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to check out this one right here. And if you like all of our content, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. It always helps us out. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.